Hello and welcome to Scarlet Serpent Readings. Thank you so much for joining me in this very special collaborative pick-a-card reading where I'm going to be delivering a message from the color violet and the frequency of 999. And I have a lot of people to thank. First of all, you, the viewer, for those of you subscribed, thank you. And for those stopping by, welcome. I hope you enjoy. And I definitely want to thank Odessa Mall for putting this whole collaboration together. It's been wonderful connecting with lovely souls doing these readings. And I just wanted to read the names of all the readers in the collaboration so you can go ahead and check out their videos as well to get the full scope of the reading. So Odessa Mall, of course, Jenna's Witchy Corner, 9 3/4, Bluebird Magic, Damsel Flies, Leo Guidance Time, and myself. And as I said, this is going to be a reading about the color violet. This reading is going to be structured different than most of the ones that I do in that, each pile is going to be pretty much a different theme because there's a lot of different correspondences with all the colors, and I wanted to kind of break it down and make it a little more personal for you. So I'll talk about what the color violet might have to say, how it's working in your life, how you can tune yourself to it, depending on which pile you choose. And if you're drawn to more than one pile, definitely, especially for this reading, go ahead and watch those. And again, don't forget to check out all of the other colors as well. So for pile 1, it's going to be all the same, but I actually have different energies connected to each pile. So pile 1 is going to be this card. Pile 2 is going to be this card. And pile 3 is going to be this card. So yes, it is all the same. They're all the same cards, but I wanted to give you the option to maybe tune into those energies. And I'll put them up again. Pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Okay, so take your time, tune in, and I'll meet you at your pile. Hi, pile 1. If you chose pile 1, this reading is going to be, of course, all about the color violet, but more specifically, the violet flame. So this is the violet flame pile of the reading. And of course, I just, in case you skipped the intro, this is a collaborative reading on the rainbow, all the colors of the rainbow. In the description box, I will have the list of all of the readers and their link to their reading. So be sure to check it out to just get the full effect of all of the readings together. I think it's pretty epic. So, okay, with this reading then, it's going to be really evoking the energies of 3 different archangels. We have Archangel Amethyst with a specific message of aura. And I think that is kind of her message to you is that in terms of utilizing the violet flame, it's not only for your aura, but I think affecting the auras of other people. And I think people are naturally drawn to you. Just if you've noticed like strangers who want to just sit next to you, and I've mentioned this in maybe a couple of other readings, so I wouldn't be surprised if you'd seen that and if I had mentioned the violet flame in a previous reading, because people are naturally drawn to you for that reason. It's like a very natural, energetic clearing and purifying that you provide to others. And of course, we're going to elaborate a little bit more, but I do want to move on to the next archangel, which is Archangel Lavender. Prepare for soul healing, forgive and release everyone with transition. And it's interesting, the term release, in terms of what Archangel Lavender has to say, where it's that's part of the energy of transmutation. And I was thinking about that earlier, that it was very similar. Well, the temperance card, yeah, it's the alchemy card, but also I was thinking death, and I'm actually tying that, but it's kind of funny, well, not funny, but interesting how that's also a transition card. And so you might have, it's kind of I don't want to say far out, but tied in an interesting way, in that you have a connection to death. And I think part of your power of transmutation comes from being so comfortable in both of those types of energies, the opposites, in other words. And maybe that's why I wouldn't be surprised if, again, you're drawn not only to those people, but situations that are difficult, just because you're more than capable of transforming the energies within a certain space or environment, work, and so forth. But I also want to say that specifically for this pile, because of your inherent energy of clearing, really, you have a very clearing aura, very clearing and transformative presence about you, that you have a lot of support as well from your guides. Like, I think this pile would have, I mean, we all have multiple spirit guides, but I think this team would be particularly protective of your energy, and they're assisting with your natural transmutation abilities, I think. And then Archangel Zadkiel, with non-action. And that is to say, yeah, it's passive. It's a passive thing that you do, is transform other people, transform energy, transform and transmute just by your presence. I don't think, I mean, it would be absolutely beneficial to deliberately do like a ritual and draw upon the violet flame of transmutation, but I feel that you already do that. It's kind of like with amethyst, the stone, the gem, that you could charge it, of course, but I think by default it has that energy of clearing and purifying. So let's dig a little deeper, and I already have some tarot out, and these cards are just showing us why you were drawn to this reading. Like, what is it about the violet flame? I mean, of all the colors, of all the correspondences, this was the one that you were drawn to, because I'm going to be touching other aspects of violet as well, but this one is very, it's kind of funny, I was going to say action oriented. The energy shift is drastic, in other words, but it's done passively. And the reason why I'm drawn to this reading in particular is a few things. Like, you've put in a lot of work and you've touched the lives of a lot of people, and you've shifted emotions, you've shifted emotional energy, and it's almost like an emotional clearing that you've provided. Like, we have, what is it, the Seven of Pentacles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 Pentacles. Yeah, it hasn't always seemed fair, but that work has been recognized in the lives that you've changed. Let's see if I could get this to focus a little bit better, but Yeah, lots of community, lots of you touch the lives of a lot of people, and they've all brought to you their energy, they've brought to you their problems, and in a lot of ways you were willing to listen to I mean, they weren't necessarily seeking advice, although I wouldn't be surprised if that was a pattern as well. But we have the Two of Pentacles as well. So this just shows me that the two sides, the yin and yang, the shifting of energies that you do quite naturally, and that's really what's coming through, is the ease in which you do it. I mean, for some of you, of course, this is a general reading. For some of you, you'll be more aware of it than others, but I think the intensity and in which it's like the proficiency, I don't think you might not be fully aware of just how much of an impact energetically you make. And actually, let's find out now, like, how is your alchemy affecting the world around you? I would like to know. The Chariot, yeah. So you move people forward in their lives. Like, if they were in one direction, they were stagnant or something, they interact with you, you just naturally have ideas, or you, like, just being in your presence brings clarity to what they need to do and who they are, and it's almost like you reflect them back in an equal and opposite way, so that they're able to, it's like, oh, I didn't think of that, or I didn't, this whole other universe is now available to me, and I was denying it or just not aware of that. And it's very powerful, that gift that you bring to people, again, very naturally. And that was the 10 of Cups earlier, this card, and I'm only mentioning it because we also have the 10 of Pentacles, which I think it just ties back to how you drastically shift people's lives into much better. There's a lot of community, so it's I don't know, you help steer others. That's what's coming through a lot. You have a very profound impact on the lives of other people, and I would say maybe Archangel Amethyst is saying to take the time to do that back to yourself, but not necessarily with the Violet Flame. Although this is the reading about the Violet Flame, I think it would be more of like crystallizing that energy somehow, like using the Violet Flame, and then I guess this would be a slightly more advanced technique, but like, or playing with the energies, but shaping it in different ways and kind of crystallizing it. It's like clearing a crystal, and that crystal is you, and you are amethyst, and you're like, your aura is the Violet Flame. I don't know if that makes sense for everyone, but oh look, Temperance. Did I mention Temperance? But that was the alchemy card that I was at least thinking of. Temperance. Oh, this is beautiful. Yeah. So we're noticing, right? The 2 cups here. Balancing of energies, transition. Yeah. Even the Chariot has the sun and the moon in the card. So you very naturally balance people's energies. You very naturally are able to alchemize and mix different people with different opinions and different energies. And it's really, this reading is really about bringing awareness to that, and bringing awareness to how important you are in the lives of others. And here we have the King of Wands with more flame as well. It's like you bring people to you with your light, the light of the violet flame, the light of like Two of Pentacles. More balancing, more yeah. I mean, even these cards are fairly balanced as far as minor arcana and major arcana, pentacles. It's got everything, and that balance is what causes clarity. I don't know if that makes sense too. It's a balance of different energies, different thoughts, different peoples, and it's kind of scattered. So I wouldn't be surprised if at some points you feel scattered, or scattered situations come to you like you're very calm in the middle of chaos. You're like the eye in the middle of the storm, and that comes from your own natural balance. And so I think that's what the non-action has to do with Archangel Zadkiel, is that he's saying, because so many people in so many of these situations are drawn to you, to sometimes just be still and allow them to unfold and be the observer, and be centered, so that that's where your clarity comes from, and that's where other people's clarity can manifest through you, through interacting with you. Yeah, okay. So let's see. Any additional messages from the violet flame and the color violet in general, really? Four of Pentacles. Yeah, of course, you probably are already being mindful of who you interact with, but not being afraid to be protective of your energy. And I think, again, that energetic awareness of like how much work you're putting into other people's lives needs to be balanced by your own energetic healing and cleansing and clearing. We have the Four of Pentacles. This figure is hiding the pentacle from an object, like being protective here of your, and it's kind of interesting, I don't know, I'm being brought to the amethyst stone, the way she's holding it. There we go. The way this figure's holding the stone as well. So yeah, not to be afraid of saying no from time to time, or just moving away from large crowds, like if it's a big mass of people. And then we have the it's almost as if sometimes you could be the tower in other people's lives, or it's like a dual tower, right, with the two bolts of lightning, where you destroy the structure of something that isn't stable, and that's what causes the transition, right? That's what causes people to move in a new direction or see things differently, is by breaking down that mindset that isn't, that's really the baggage that they've picked up through other energies, like the news, media, other people's influence, and they drag that around, and then they come to you and you clear it quite naturally. But that's the thing as well, is that how much of that are you willing to, I think at a subconscious level, do? Are you able to do? And I think that's also why, as I said, you have multiple, like, really strong protective guides of your energy. You have the Five of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. There's a lot of pentacles in this reading, which is interesting. Given that this is a violet flame, it's a very real world. I mean, we're talking about energy so much, but it's very tangible, and I think this reading is a lot about recognizing the real world physical effect that you have on your environment. It's like you physically change the energy and it actually like clears their mind. I think it's very powerful. You have Five of Pentacles. Let's clarify this Five of Pentacles really quick. You have Queen of Pentacles. It's like the Five of Pentacles, the two figures are moving towards you when they don't know where to go. And I think that has to do with your light. The Ten of Cups again. So, if you had remembered the Ten of Cups being here, that's you, right? You are hope for a lot of people. I think a lot friends, family get kind of lost in the day-to-day, and you're just a being of, yeah, this is a really cool pile, I have to say, just because of the profound effect you have on others and how you could really drastically shift and change people's lives. And you're extremely nurturing and very similar to the Empress energy. And look at the figures at the bottom here moving towards you with the Five of Pentacles. It's almost like, I don't know, this is the first time I've noticed, I guess, any of the astrology so far, but Mercury in Taurus is sticking out because sometimes people won't be able to express what's wrong with them. It's kind of like you just find out naturally. You break down barriers. And again, it's very passive, and to not be afraid to ask for like time out in terms of the amount of work you're putting in, because it is work. And I think the outcome is a world that is more clear. It's more people have clear thought, more people are aware of themselves and their environment and the actions they take, and how the whole universe is really connected, and this and that. Yeah. Oh. You have the Six Hearts. This is an oracle. Just a final closing message. And I had mentioned, I don't know if this is cool. This is pretty cool. I'd mentioned in the intro, or not the intro, in one of my posts about Rainbow Warriors. I didn't know it was Hawaii. What they say from Hawaii. I think it was. I don't know. I want to say it was Carissa from 9 3/4 who said it. Please let me know in the comments. I think it was you, Carissa. But anyway, this is definitely Rainbow Warrior territory. You even have the rainbow, and that's you. That is, as far as the rainbow goes, that's your power. Is like a warrior would, just breaking down barriers, really shifting. You have a very powerful energy, a very powerful presence about you that draws people in so that their lives can change. And it's cool for you and your perspective to recognize your own change, but to see how like it's like a wave of alchemizing energy. There's like a trickle effect, a ripple that you have in your presence. So this is a really cool, very powerful pile, and yeah, just take care of your energy. Don't be afraid to call upon, especially this pile, the violet flame. I think it would be very helpful. And you could even use the color violet as a reminder to, hey, maybe I should just clear my energy really quick. But hopefully you enjoyed this reading. It was a pleasure being part of this collaboration. I really enjoyed it. And if you're drawn to any of the other piles, especially for this, again, feel free to watch or come back. But definitely check out all of the other readers in the collaboration, all of the different colors, and see what else and how it could tie it back into this reading. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Leave a comment, like, subscribe if you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello, if you chose pile 2, this is going to be your reading on violet, messages from the color of violet and the frequency of 999. And again, this is a part of a collaboration hosted by Odessa Mall, so thank you, Odessa. And I'll have the link to all of the other readings for all of the other colors in the description box, so be sure to check them out after, or just to get the full scope of the reading. And so if you chose pile 2, this reading is going to be focused primarily on the crown chakra, as the crown is associated with the color violet. And it's also going to be a reading from Archangel Raziel, which for me has to do with wisdom and knowledge and the mind. So that's what we're going to go with here. But I also think of course, there's a lot of other correspondences, but also royalty. And I'm thinking royalty just because the crown as well. So there's those things all sort of tie together. So, but first, we're going to focus on the crown. What is the energy of your crown chakra? And I do have a few tarot cards out already. So the first is 5 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, and they're both in reverse. So it does feel like there might be currently a blockage. Like it's either too much being downloaded or not enough. And we do have the World card, followed by 2 of Swords and the Fool. So I'll just show them to you real quick. It's nice to have purple show up a little bit in this reading, but hopefully you can see those. So there's a little bit of indecision that's blocking progress. Not blocking progress, but confidence in what you're receiving. And this is just currently, it's not all the time, but maybe that's why being drawn to this reading. And then we have the Fool, so it's almost like the clarity of mind, the ease of going will help you unblock this chakra. Look at the sun shining. And I did clarify these cards: 5 of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, 4 of Cups, Ace of Cups, and 9 of Pentacles. And again, this reading so far and the previous reading has a lot of pentacles. So in this case, it's about grounding knowledge that's being channeled from your crown chakra, and using that wisdom, like Archangel Raziel is trying to emphasize. It's not just absorbing the wisdom and then that's it. It's like, what do you do with it? How do you share it? Do you build something with it? Do you express it in a different way? And I think that's why I see that the Queen of Pentacles here, it's almost as if this knowledge isn't quite being brought to life physically as well as it can be. And I think part of this is embodying more of the Queen of Pentacles energy, in that she knows how to manifest and use materials and be comfortable in her own presence, really. Let's see. Yeah. Then we have the Four of Cups underneath the World. I think also boredom would block your crown chakra. And this isn't the magic pile, but there's just this hint of like, when you recognize magic, that's when you're more inspired to really absorb more, download more, be it's like it amplifies your claircognizance, sorry. But yeah, oh yeah, it's right here. Well, with the Four of Cups, it's like not being able to see the opportunities that are before you. And I think in this case, it has to do with seeing the wisdom in different situations. And I get that again, because we have two eyes that are being crossed over here with the Two of Swords. So you can see that. So that's all it is. It's not even, it might not be for all of you who feel like there's a blockage, but recognizing when there's a lack of that balance of channeling and feeling confident in what you're receiving and taking action. This is a very a lot of emphasis on utilizing that information, utilizing what comes in from the crown. And if you are doing studying, how could you apply like this spiritual wisdom to practical things, or just creating something or expressing it in a way? Okay, so let's get a message from Archangel Raziel. Oh, but what I was gonna say earlier, just being the Fool would unlock that. Yeah, being the Fool, being passive. You'll see the shape of the triangle is facing down, which is like the more feminine energy, being receptive and yeah. That clears the mind so that you could take action. So there's that sort of balance again, like you'll know how to use that wisdom once you are grounded within yourself and clear, with the 10 of Pentacles or 9 of Pentacles as well. It's gonna that's what's happening. Like there's is scattered energy a little bit. It's either, as I said, too much or too little. It's falling through, but through the Fool card, it creates a shape. All of this downloading, and because yeah, there can be a lot of emphasis on being clairvoyant and getting these skills and becoming psychic and doing this, and it's all about using that in a way and expressing yourself and taking action based on all of the downloads that you get. So let's get a message now from Archangel Raziel, because I think we have an idea. Let's get if there's a way to clear your crown. How can you clear your crown chakra? I'm not going to pick those up. That's way too many right now. So I'm going to use a different deck. How can you clear your crown chakra? Play, yeah. I mean, look, there's the rainbow. Play and enjoy. The rainbows come through in a couple cards. So it's a nice play on the collaboration, if you could see that. Because a rainbow is joy, it's happiness, it's freedom in a lot of ways. And that's what the wings are with Archangel Raziel too. It's that Raziel has the freedom through expression. So I think a lot of this has to do with feeling comfortable expressing what you channel. And it doesn't have to be like a formal channeling where you sit down and you know, it's more of you're constantly receiving this information throughout the day. It's not necessarily in a particular setting. Okay, so let's get a message from Archangel Raziel. There are a few repeat cards, and that does usually happen, but yeah, let's give you repeat cards. We have 2 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, and the Devil. And we'll get a little more after that. We have another rainbow, by the way. I think love brings you joy. Other people bring you joy. Because I also see that with the child here in this image. That connecting with soul family brings a lot of joy, and it really opens up to not only channeling, but playing with that information, playing with what you receive, and it brings flight, it brings movement and union, really. Yeah, with the 4 of Pentacles and 6 of Pentacles, it's just that message again of not holding on too tightly to that wisdom and that information, that it's something that you're meant to share with others, that your experience has value, and your physical experience has value, and that value is through your perception. And because you have a lot of course, this is a very wise pile, and it's all about sharing and presenting that wisdom in a way that's accessible to a lot of people. Especially the Raziel here, sharing, opening the book. It's almost as if he is reading to others, and maybe part of this has to do with the desire to teach. If you've been wanting to teach, if you've been wanting to write, this is part of that calling. And I think through clearing the crown, not just clearing it, but being in a more playful state, the crown chakra activates. And I could definitely speak of experience in that, because most of you know that I feel this sort of stuff physically. It's a very physical experience for me, and so like I'll know it's like very intense how it opens when listening to certain music, or when in the beach, or riding bike. Is this a personal reading? But yeah, that's when the information comes in. That's when you're being divinely guided, and sometimes you might keep yourself from taking action on that. That's what the Devil card is here, is your self-doubt, really being like, oh, no, that can't be. And you'll notice that it's the same couple from the Lovers card. So when there's joy, I mean, this isn't the Lover's card, but I'm thinking of it. Yeah, joy, freedom, expression. It's almost like the wisdom is so profound that like that can't be true. I don't see how that's possible. And that's when the Devil card comes in, and it transforms that couple into bondage of impossibility, of what cannot be. So just something to look out for there from Archangel Raziel. Oh man, I have to pick up the cards. I have to pick them up. Let me pause this real quick. Right, so I was going to draw an oracle, and then I decided to switch it up anyway, back to tarot. So I apologize, but what was I gonna say? How is Archangel Raziel working with you now? Because obviously, Archangel Raziel is present with you to help, with the channeling, with teaching and sharing others spiritual wisdom that you've obtained, and you have a lot of. But I want to know a little more about how Archangel Raziel is assisting you now. Okay. Okay, so we have the King of Swords, the Seven of Swords, and the Sun. There's a lot of the swords energy, right? And we had seen swords earlier in the color purple as well. As I said, a mental suit, right? So, but there's doubt. There's self-doubt here. This is a very hard card to show, but the eye has a sword through it. So and that's interesting, right? This imagery right here. If you could see that. If you're watching, on YouTube on your phone, you could also zoom in by pinching out. So if you want to zoom in or pause it just to see that, but you'll notice the eye, right? You'll notice the eye showing up over and over. It's covered. And then you'll also notice that the eye here, which is the Sun card, is the Fool. You see this? I don't know if you're noticing this connection, that the Sun is there, the Fool is there, your wisdom, the third eye, the triangle, that it's play is the secret. That's, you'll naturally, I don't know if you're a Gemini, will overthink, hyperanalyze, because you are very sharp, very sharp of mind. But it is self-sabotage at this point. It's the analyzing in circles almost, where it's like, oh, this is happening, I'm noticing this, and then if you're psychic, you're picking up on those energies and you're analyzing the energies. And the Sun here and the Fool, I mean, this is your key, I think. To unlocking your own wisdom and sharing that wisdom with others is simply to have fun, to shine, to play, to be like a child, very strong. Because usually the Sun card has the child on a horse, and we do see a child here as well. So it's a callback to playing. It's a callback to prioritizing that, because that, believe it or not, is where you channel the wisdom and you feel more of a desire to, again, act on it. So I don't know if this pile has seen, the color orange or yellow, and I'm be a little curious to see what those readings have to say, particularly with this pile. So be sure to comment. Let us know how they're connected. All right, so I'm just going to do an oracle card for for Archangel Raziel, and then an oracle card for the crown chakra. Let's start with Raziel. Very eager to come out. That was the card from the last reading, so I'll share it in a second, but let's see from the crown chakra. Reach. This almost looks like the Fool, though, doesn't it? I'm getting the Fool energy here, too. This is coming from your crown. That's to allow yourself to daydream and to take those daydreams seriously, because those are channeled messages, especially if you're playing. So in transition, this came up in the last pile too. This is from Archangel Raziel, and the transition here is your transition. It's different. It's your moving from this energy, really these cards, the Two of Swords, the King of Swords. It feels like reverse here. I didn't have any reversals, but I usually don't do them. But it does feel like a reversal. So the King of Swords in reverse, and the Seven of Swords here. So hopefully you can see that I'm trying. There we go. Okay. Yeah, because it's almost like the figure is holding up the swords to his own ear. You see that? It's really cool. And it's transitioning from that, from it's just saying, okay, I'm not gonna analyze this anymore. I'm just gonna, I don't need to analyze it. It's already come in, like it's very natural. So it's just kind of looping that energy. But once you do that, I think there's just so much that's trying to be poured into the 3D world, through your experience, through your understanding of this wisdom, and through your own expression and freedom. So I'd be eager to see what you come up with, if this is something you've already started doing or have been daydreaming about. Again, I think it's time to shift that and make that a reality. But hopefully you enjoyed this reading. Please, again, check out the other readers and their colors. That's going to be in the description. Like, subscribe if you enjoyed it. Thank you, Adesimal, for bringing us together for this awesome reading. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Hi, Pile 3. If you chose Pile 3, this reading is going to be all about mysteries and magic. And well, first of all, if you missed the intro or if you skipped it, this is a part of a collaboration, a rainbow collaboration. So be sure to check out all of the other colors. That's going to be down in the description box below. And it's a lot of beautiful readers, beautiful souls. So be sure to check out those messages, because I have no doubt they're going to connect in interesting ways to each other. And so this one is about well, as far as correspondences go for Violet, in this case, I'm thinking of magic, because of the way the sky changes color in sunrise and sunset. Those are like the most magical hours, and I think, I don't know, it's just interesting how there's an in-between phase of light and dark, and for the most part, it's just nighttime or it's daytime. There's variation, clouds and everything, but there's such a drastic change in color depending where you live, of course. But it just seems magical and beautiful. I don't know, specifically about transformation. But in terms of the moon and mystery, with the number 9, it does go back to Yesod and the tree of life in the Kabbalah. And Yesod just happens to be the color violet, which is governed by Archangel Gabriel. So we're going to be receiving message from Archangel Gabriel and the moon, kind of uncovering mysteries. And actually, let's start with that. What mysteries are you uncovering now? Like, What mysteries? Okay. Okay. I think a lot of this has to do with your power. That's the mystery. It's just realizing just how powerful you are. Give me one sec. Okay, and the Seven of Pentacles. A lot of this does have to do with manifestation, and it just takes time. So sometimes it feels as though what you desire isn't coming, but it is moving quickly. And I think part of your power and part of what you're discovering, look, there's purple here, violet as well. So this is the magic that's happening, right? Is the magic has to do with not only your manifestations, but how quickly they come into being. And that's something that's new for you. It's like lightning. If you saw the Rainbow in the Dark post by Damsel Flies, I think it was Damsel Flies, when there's lightning, it's that first line from Rainbow in the Dark. You should check it out. Lost and never found. I think that's what's lost and never found, is your power. Like you've not that you've lost it, but you it's almost as if you feel as though you've lost it. Like and that rediscovery is invigorating, and it's taking you to new heights, and it's bringing forth new people into your life. This is the Three of Pentacles with Capricorn, and there's something about this that feels like Capricorn too, even though it's the Knight of Wands, just because it kind of looks like an elk. So this energy might be distinctly Capricorn, and Capricorn has been all over these readings, to be honest. Capricorn, Taurus, hopefully you could see that, right? So a lot of this has to do with the power that you wield, and how that power that you wield can change the world while you wait. Okay, let's get a message directly from Archangel Gabriel, though. We have a message from Archangel Gabriel, please. Judgment. Yeah, that's interesting. That's what this card feels like, doesn't it? Even though it's the Two of Wands, it is the Judgment card. I think that's part of the mystery, is that awakening of your power. But that's interesting thing about the Judgment card is that it's Archangel Gabriel's card. Isn't that cool? Yeah, so that's kind of confirmation of Archangel Gabriel's presence within this reading. That's beautiful, isn't it? Because the angel has the horn, the messenger. Archangel Gabriel is associated as well with the throat chakra. So just something to keep in mind, because here Gabriel's holding the diamond, so there's that clarity as well from the clarity, like there's the people who are coming out of the coffins. They're coming out awakening, really. So this is very powerful stuff. I think that's why you're in this reading, is bringing forth your own awakening of your own. It's kind of like you're realizing you're a clear quartz, and you could put forth intentions with power. It's like using the voice in a way that like as you become more aware of your power, you become more aware of the responsibility that you have with the thoughts and the spells you cast and things like that. Any other messages, please, from Archangel Gabriel? That's cool. With the Judgment card, we have the Eight of Wands, communication again. So and that's underneath the Knight of Wands. So I think it has to do with being able to have power behind your words. And again, this has to do with manifestation, so it's like increasing as your desires have that fuel, and as you know they will come into into reality. It happens, but that's what causes it to happen faster. It's it's the way that you speak. It's like the solar plexus is fired up, and it's really coming through the throat and into reality. So yeah, this is a powerful pile, and I'd mentioned power already multiple times, and it's kind of showing itself more and more with the cards that are coming through. And then we have the Five of Swords in the World. Okay, with the World, is just that's what's opening up to you as you step into power. It's like, oh, I could really create change and use your voice to really impact people and the world in a way that you haven't really noticed or haven't had an awareness of to the level that you can, especially with Judgment and Archangel Gabriel. It's like the messenger, the message from the Eight of Wands. It's kind of like, hey, you could do a lot. You're very capable of creating very profound change. With the Five of Swords, it feels like breaking free from the environment with Aquarius and Venus, which is an interesting combination. It's like the self versus others, and here yourself comes first. It's breaking free of the Four of Swords. It's a little different, I guess, for me. Breaking free from the norm. It's almost like these three swords are trying. That's cool. Okay, so those three swords are people and their limited beliefs and their limited mindsets, and they're trying to influence the direction that you're going because you have a lot of momentum. But I don't know, it was very quick. But it's revealed that these swords that are trying to trap you in are actually trapped within themselves, and that's why they're really desperately trying to influence you. And that's a perception shift that you're going to have, or that you're already having if you haven't experienced it already. Boy, I need water. Should have brought water. Sorry. It's been a long day. Okay. But yeah, you have a lot of that power. Let's get some oracle cards. I want to do oracles right now. Okay. Is there a way that you could more quickly step into that power? How could you make that happen? Okay, no. I'm gonna switch it. Someone told me to switch. What magic can you create with your power? Let's shift it back to magic. We have 10 of Swords, which is about endings. But it is another card of the Sun, so it's kind of showing up. And the Moon. This is beautiful. This is incredible. And I had the Moon. I don't know if you saw in the background. The Moon, Archangel Gabriel, Yesod, which is the Moon. So it's beautiful how much of this. It's really very clear. Yeah. You have the Moon. So you have a very strong connection to the Moon. I have no doubt of that in this pile. And I think that's part of the magic that you're bringing in with this power that you have. What is the magic? Is that's part of mystery, right? Like, you can't always know. The Moon's always there, but it doesn't always show itself fully. And even when it does, it's only half of the whole Moon, yeah. Even when the Moon's full, there's still the other side behind, you know. Do you think part of this magic has to do with mediumship in a way? let's continue. Okay, 10 of Pentacles. So 2 10s. And that's been a theme for, I think, a couple of the piles, if not all of them, grounding this mystery and magic. Grounding the magic specifically. And accepting that you won't always know, but that doesn't mean you can't express how you feel. Or you can't... Even with, like, if you do, for example, spell work or something like that, or rituals that you might not know the outcome or know how you'll get there, but you could still ask for something. Yeah, it's being less limited by what you think can be, and opening yourself to just potential, and allowing your daydreams to come through and ignite your spirit, kind of push you to really be confident in your own mysteries, in your own ever-changing nature, because you're someone, I think, who shifts a lot. You shift energy probably throughout the day quite a bit, quite strongly, but that awareness of it will make you more proficient in... There's a lot of magic practice here, so witchcraft would be, or shamans or something like that, where there's very deliberate use of magic and understanding of it. We have the Chariot too. So there's that movement. There's a lot of movement in this pile too. You have the yin and yang as well. A lot of your magic has to do with endings and beginnings, and propelling things forward. Very forward thinking. Okay. So yeah, let's get an oracle card. Describing your magic. Like, what is your magic? What is pile 3's magic? Self-love. Oh, that's cool. If you were to take the intention that you have and direct it towards yourself, it's like you could amplify your own energies. Where's that? And then we get sort of that mirror image here too. Where's that? Where is that? That's where your abundance comes from too, yourself, yeah. And it gets revealed as you focus your energy. So there's that intention too, and I think that's also what Archangel Gabriel is saying. It's like a revealing of your own inner diamond and light, to recognize how precious you are, and that you too go through those changes and phases, and sometimes it's nice, sometimes it's not so nice, but as you recognize this, I don't know, you'll be able to move with ease and grace into your desires and your goals, really. It's like you'll move easier when you recognize your own patterns, even if they're subconscious, without the judgment, because the judgment would slow you down. Yeah, I think that's why the 5 of Swords is there too. Whoops. I think that's why the 5 of Swords is there too. Okay. let's do the message from Archangel Gabriel and the moon. Let's just look at the moon though. I don't know. It's kind of heard it. I heard it that way. It's like, just look at me. And that maybe that's why the mirror is there too. So it's just look at your. Don't be afraid to do. Is it scrying? It is, isn't it? Yeah. To do that, but to look into your own eyes and be kind to yourself, but also look up at the moon, because I think the moon wants you to look at it and just recognize its beauty. And okay, its absurdity, I guess. This is part of the magic too. Wait a minute, right? Hold on a second. You see the antlers? 2 different decks, by the way. The antlers in this card. You might have a connection to what, like Pan, or one of those beings, like Celtic. Yeah, like a nature being. And I think it's also showing Capricorn again. So very interesting, this imagery, this is he riding? Yeah, because this isn't a horse that this figure's on. He is the horse. I forgot what that was called, the half horse or whatever. And that's coming through twice, which is kind of wild. So you might have a connection to that. It's like, is this centaur? I don't know. Centaur. I don't know. But look out for that. Look out for that in your dreams. Look out for this sort of creature. If you daydream of it, it might be a sign. There's a lot of horses here, actually, with the chariot as well. So you might have a connection to horses that you don't even know it exists yet. But it has to do a lot with speed. A lot with speed and with the human intellect, too. It's kind of like the horns are reaching for the sky to bring down wisdom from the moon in this case. And then like the rainbow is showing up. The white rabbit is kind of like following the white rabbit, going down the rabbit hole. But the rabbit's sleeping right now, right? So I think part of this message has to do with the fact that that rabbit is gonna wake up. That's why the Judgment card is here. It's time to acknowledge your own magic and use it in a way that brings wonder and beauty back into the world, and it opens up your world and the world of others through what you're able to do. So hopefully this reading was helpful. Please don't forget to check out all of the other readers, all of the other readings. Thank you, Adesimal, again, and hope to see you in the next reading. Take care.